So this was a trip that I took, took a little while back, and I think this was my first trip of the year out there. And it's not really the best morel mushroom hunting area, but you have to get past this front area. It's maybe 400 or 500 yards worth. That is just filled with trash. All kinds of trash, from beer bottles, beer cans, food wrappers, and for some whatever reason, a lot of underwear. I have found several pieces of underwear. T-shirts is one thing, okay, you know, but underwear. Uh, I don't want to know what the locals are doing in them woods, and yeah, I don't really want to know. Yeah, there's some strange people that live in this area, so who knows what they're doing. Anyways, that's besides the point. So when you get past the front area, the woods actually are really nice. They're not filled with trash. Yeah, there's actually a good amount of space to go, and these woods are pretty massive. This is not a small set of woods. I did find some. It really wasn't the greatest, but I did find some. Leave out of that place, skunked. That's a good thing. That's always a good thing. At least you want to find at least a few, something to fry up that night. And all the ones I found were all yellow mushrooms, and some were fresh, some were not so fresh, but it is what it is. So walking into this area, I did come across this carcass. I'm not really for sure exactly what animal this was. It was a pretty decent sized animal, so I'm not really sure what that was. There are bobcats out in them woods. I have not seen one myself. I have seen paw prints, cat-like paw prints, that are definitely much, much bigger than your normal house cat. Um, Pretty massive size, about the size, probably about like that big all the way around. I know that's not a house cat, and it was definitely a cat paw print. So it's kind of a new thing for them creatures to be this far up into Indiana. I'm in the south central region, so for some reason, a lot more sightings have been popping up in my neck of the woods and a little bit south of us. So that could have very well been a bobcat, or could just be some regular scavengers, feasting on a meal for a couple days or whatever. That could have been a deer. Who knows? Can't really be loud in case there are people out here. But I just made it almost to the spot where I'm going. Kind of stop to take a breather. It's a rough hike, 2 miles in, up and down hills, valleys, all that stuff. So it's pretty rough. Now, of course, this part of the video was probably maybe about, an hour and a half into the hike, usually about the time it takes to get to what I consider are the better spots, the better locations. You're hiking at least about an hour, probably a little more, depending on how far you want to go. I'm pretty far in the woods at this point. Definitely far enough that if I hurt myself, or maybe some crazy person is out there wielding an axe or hatchet or something, there's not going to be much help at all. But I did come across this first nice little patch that I found out in the woods, and it was pretty nice. Most of these were pretty fresh. So, and then pretty much ever since that first patch, I pretty much followed the same path, tried to keep going in the same line, kind of going parallel of the hill. All right, gotta be quiet. But I just ran up on a patch. There's some good looking yellows. These are fresh looking. So let me show you. One, two. So far, I just walked in this. So this is a spot that I have actually found one year I found 18 of them here in the spot. So I'm squatted, looking around, making sure that I can see all of them. And yeah, I'm gonna take a break, start picking, and have a final count here in a minute. I've seen this one from a distance. He's definitely hard to see. But I spotted him. There he is. Alright, so picked I think 7, 8. Some of them are burnt. I think that's from the recent cold snap we had. It happens. So now I'm going to thoroughly check the area. Make sure I'm not missing any. So sure I am. Sure there's a few more. Like I said, at one point this spot produced 18 for me. So very good possibility. There could be a lot more. Just not seeing them yet. Okay. Now, I believe this is the tree they're growing from. Because most of the time they do kind of grow with the relationship with some sort of tree. Different varieties produce more or less, whatever. And I believe that's the tree that is helping to produce these little guys. So usually whenever you find them, you want to look like 10, 15 foot radius or so. Oh, there's another one. I can't even see this guy. This thing right here is really messing with me. I'm seeing them from a distance. Because once you spot a morel, they kind of like pop out. Certain things pop out. Makes it so much easier to see them from a little ways. And now I'm scanning the ground and I see those things, and they're coming up out of the ground, so it kind of messes with you. Okay, well, the spot may not be producing as much as it did before, but it's still producing. So that's a good thing. Alright, I'm gonna double check, and then I'm gonna thought I saw another one. It's not. Leaves is another one that really jacks with you. So yeah, I'm gonna do one more little look over, and then I think I'm gonna hit some more of my other spots. But this is a good sign. I was wondering if they would actually be up right now, and the fact that they are up here and the fresh ones are looking that good, it's a good sign for my other spots. So hopefully my other spots produce at least some. Don't get too greedy. As long as it has at least a few or so.
I'd be happy with that.
And really, as far as trees, I really wasn't targeting too many specific trees. I was just, trying to get down to the creek bottom area, something like that that was a little bit cooler, a little bit more shaded, where the ground was actually a lot more moist than up above and near the entrance. So really wasn't a huge amount in each patch. That's really about the way they grow out there. You're not going to be finding that huge honey hole that has 50, 60 or more mushrooms in it. You're going to be basically finding small little patches of them. As long as you just keep on the same path and keep targeting the same areas, you'll do a lot better. It wasn't a huge haul, but I definitely found enough to actually go home with some morel mushrooms. Got to fry them up, so it wasn't too bad. Some days are kind of hit and miss. Some days I've came out of there with 30 or more. Some days I didn't get axed to death by some lunatics. So, I say that's a win-win, and I didn't leave getting skunked. All right, so that's it for now. See ya.